All right. So what are we on now? Day 6, I guess. Yeah, day 6. We're in Columbus, and we had arranged the night before or the day before. We were staying at a church. They told us we could camp out in the parking lot, so we are like, all right, no biggie. They told us they shared the parking lot with the YMCA, but it didn't seem like that was going to be an issue or anything. So we get there and we're relaxed. We set up, we go to sleep and everything. And John told me also that that church had a security guard, which I was like, like whatever. It's not that big of a deal to me. And then, what was it? I wake up at like 5 o'clock the next morning, and it's kind of foggy out. Like the windows are fogged up in the vehicle. I think because we were just like, warm bodies in there or whatever. So it's all like fogged over, and all I see is like an outline of somebody like peering into our van, and like we lock the doors, we lock ourselves in the van. The only thing outside the van at night is my bike and our extra 5 gallon of gasoline, but all that stuff is chained up to the wheel well, so nobody's gonna take it without a hacksaw or something. And then we put a tarp over that so people don't even see it. But yeah, I wake up at like 5:30 or something, and there's somebody like peering into the vehicle, but he's like wearing a polo, so I'm like, all right, this isn't some like neighborhood thug. Like this is probably that security guard that lives right over there. So I wasn't freaking out. I just waved at him and he left, and I was like, okay. And I went back to sleep. And then what was it? I woke up again at like 6:45 or 5:45 or something like that, and I see somebody else outside looking in the vehicle with a white shirt on, and then I'm like, oh crap, that's a cop. And the officer knocks on the window with his flashlight. I'm like, dude, like John, wake up, like police are here. And so
I woke up.
yeah, we immediately like we're like fumbling around, but we just open the door and we get out, and he's like, "Up, you gotta go. Can't be staying here." YMCA called and said they don't want you guys out here. They're opening up, and they don't want you out here while people are starting to show up to work out, whatever, at the YMCA. So I'm like, all right. We get out and we start getting stuff together and pack it up. And I just talked to the officer, and like he was really cool about it anyways. Like once we told him we were leaving, like, and we started showing signs that we're actually packing up and leaving, he basically just got in his squad car and was about to drive away. But I just went over and talked to him, and I just told him our story, told him what we were doing, and obviously we don't have any bad intentions, and it's understandable that people may freak out or something about us because they don't know who we are. But once you just get to know somebody for like 5 minutes, that's all you got to do is just tell them your story, and then generally people are like really cool around you because we're just out for adventure. We're not out to hurt people. So I told the officer our story and everything, and he was like, "Oh yeah, that's real cool and whatnot." And then he's like, "Carry on," and he left, and we're packing up, and somebody comes over from the YMCA and is talking to me, and I think he might have been the guy. I never even asked him, but I think he might have been the guy that was peering in our windows. And he's telling me that a couple of the ladies that were working with him there were the ones that called the police. He said they were like spying on us or something from across the parking lot. They're like, yeah, they got a gas can over there. They got bags inside the van. Like, there's two guys sleeping in there. They didn't know what we were doing. I'm like, I don't know how we could have been a threat, but I guess because they saw the gas can under our tarp, and they could tell we had like lots of gear of some kind with us, like the big camera bags and everything, and then we're sleeping inside the van. So they got spooked out a little bit, and so they called the police or whatever. But after talking to that guy from the YMCA, he was like super chill, and he was laughing about it because we were all right about it. We were gonna get up and leave pretty early in the morning anyways. So he's like, "Oh man, like wait till I go over there and tell them what you guys are up to. Like they're gonna feel so bad." And like it was just chill after that. Like it was no worries. We didn't fuss about it or anything. We didn't feel bad. They didn't feel bad or whatever. So we just left, and that was the end of that. And then we just had a 70-mile ride, which was pretty mundane. There was nothing else to it that day. The only real thing that happened that day was getting to the hotel. That was our big deal. That was last Friday. That was our first day in the hotel, where we plan on staying 2 nights in a hotel every week. We roll up that night, stay in the hotel, and then we just rest all the next day, and then sleep that night in the hotel again, and then leave the next morning, and then yeah, that's the end of that. And you off and whatever, go back to doing our thing the next day after that. So it was just really motivating. Plus, it was a shorter ride that day, just the way it worked out. So yeah, we did that, and then got to the hotel. And I guess the next day, our rest day, we slept in, had a breakfast there, the free breakfast. And then we went to we were in Dayton, Ohio, so we went to the U.S. Air Force Museum that's up there in Dayton. And that was pretty cool. I mean, if you go on the Facebook page, you can check out all our photos. They're up there, and you can see some of the stuff we saw. We didn't really film a whole lot at the museum because it's not our place to film, but it was just cool to see all that old aircraft and some new aircraft and stuff. And I just have a big thing for the history of flight, so all that stuff kind of clicked with me. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, that was our rest day. So I'll talk about next day's ride after the next video here.